Here's the ugly truth about rehab costs. They vary a lot. Depending on who's doing the work and what market the work is being done in, prices can be all over the map. Unless you have a lot of first-hand experience in construction, it can be pretty hard to figure out how much things should cost. And unfortunately, there are a lot of contractors who will have no problem ripping you off if you let them. It's really unfortunate, but the reality is working with contractors can be one of the biggest headaches real estate investors have to deal with. It's not always the case, but normally good contractors charge a high premium, and the more affordable ones can have a pretty low standard of professionalism. You really need to know how to manage contractors correctly. If you don't manage them well, you'll find yourself constantly micromanaging, spending double the cost to get things redone or done correctly, and frustrated that the contractors aren't getting things done in time or even showing up to work at all. It can be a true nightmare to say the least. Luckily, there is a way to minimize these issues, and in this video, I'm gonna walk you through exactly how to do that. First, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I will never pay a contractor upfront or by the hour. The reality is, if you pay a contractor all up front for the work that hasn't been completed yet, more often than not, they're gonna lose motivation to get the job done. When paid up front, it's common for contractors to prolong the deadline, or even worse, abandon the job completely, taking your money without completing the work. It's sad, but it's just the reality. You're much better off breaking up the payment in intervals, at least half up front and half at the end. If the project is extensive, you can pay them in several stages based on certain things getting completed. Contractors will normally need something up front in order to pay for materials, but you should get receipts on all the materials they buy and ensure that they're not buying anything more than they need or buying things unrelated to your project. The other thing to watch out for, never ever pay a contractor by the hour. Being paid by the hour incentivizes contractors to take their time to get stuff done. I mean, think about it for a moment. If they can get the job done in 4 hours, but they can get away with doing it in 8, they're gonna make a lot more money if they work slowly. I can't emphasize it enough. Only pay contractors based on the project and break up the payment in a way that keeps them motivated to work efficiently and quickly. The next thing I want to go over is you should be aware that in construction, there are typically 2 sets of prices for any given market, one for the ignorant and one for the wise. If you don't know how much things cost, contractors will be happy to charge a premium. A lot of well-branded plumbing companies are a great example of this. I've personally been quoted $2,500 to have a water heater replaced when I could have had it done for $1,200 or less. Another example is on the triplex that I'm currently house hacking, we've had contractors give us bids for our roof that came in at $28,000, while other contractors said that they would do it for $15,000. Another example is lawn care. In times past, I've paid upwards of $60 per mow, where now I'm paying 25 bucks. If you don't know that this 2-tier price setup is a standard practice across most markets, contractors will get away with charging you a lot more than they should. So be aware and always ensure that you're getting a fair price. Now, I don't want to give the impression that you should go with the contractor with the lowest price bid. You might, but you might not. Typically, the lower the price, the lower the quality of work and professionalism you're gonna have to put up with. Now, at the same time, you shouldn't necessarily just go with the highest price either, because there is a point where people are simply ripping you off. As a general rule of thumb, when it comes to working with contractors, your goal is to get the best cost for the best quality of work possible. Essentially, the most bang for your buck. This means that you might pay a little bit more to ensure that the work gets done properly and on schedule. If it's helpful at all, there's a common rule of thumb in construction that says labor should be double the cost of materials. But if you don't know roughly what the cost of materials are, this isn't very helpful. The best thing to do when it comes to determining rehab costs and hiring contractors is to get several bids per project, requesting that each bid includes a cost per each line item involved in the project. I would shoot to get at least 3 to 5 bids on every project that you do, especially if you're inexperienced when it comes to construction. Once you've gathered these 3 to 5 bids, you can then budget the project accordingly, knowing roughly how much it would cost and how long it would take to complete. I gotta be honest with you, I wish I watched this video when I first got started in real estate. I feel like I just gave you guys the keys to the kingdom here. Best of luck on your real estate adventures, and I'll see you in the next video.